I do with Maricela. Perfect ceremony, love will grow. I do with Maricela.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 7. Today's topic is top 10 wedding do's and don'ts. Should be a very good one today.
Yeah.
So most wedding disasters aren't actually disasters. They're tiny preventable mistakes. Today we're counting down the top 10 wedding do's and don'ts so you can keep your ceremony smooth, your guests comfortable, and your vows on track. If you've ever thought we'll figure it out on the day of, this episode is your reality check.
Mm-hmm.
In the nicest way possible, of course.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I am Marisela, wedding officiant and celebratory storyteller that brings your dream wedding ceremony to life.
Hi, I'm Henry, Maricela's right hand and relationship officiant. I'm here during the entire process to make sure everything from client meetings to wedding day logistics runs smoothly.
Today, we're talking about the difference between a wedding that's just pretty and one that feels effortless, right? We're covering the top 10 do's and don'ts, like vendor attire, microphones, rehearsals, guest comfort. That's always a big one. Their comfort in the weather where you're going to be having your ceremony, and why a coordinator can be your secret weapon. I just want you guys to remember that we're not here to scare you. We're here to inform you and prepare you.
Of course. The most stressful moment of a wedding usually happens when something is unclear, like sound, timing, who goes where or what guests should expect. Thing is, guests can feel awkward really fast.
Really fast,
right?
Especially when they don't know what's going on.
When they don't know what's happening, right?
Or like what's next, what's coming next, or we'll talk about that. Yeah. So what are the common mistakes that we have the tendency to see? The common mistakes, number one of them is no microphones, right? A lot of the times couples don't account for microphones or even having a microphone. We've said previously, even if your ceremony is small, 10 people, 12 people, if it's in an open space, sound carries. So microphone is very important, especially if you want your guests to feel connected to us and be involved with us. They can only do that if they hear us. If they don't hear us, they start wandering around and disconnect from us. And generally, that's not what we want during ceremony, right? We want everyone to be present. We want everyone to be there with us. But if they can't hear us, they'll be leaving.
Yeah, it's a lot of things to take into consideration, such as the environment, train tracks, airports, water fountains.
Yeah, water
People
fountains.
Don't think water fountains are a big deal, but no, they really, really create a lot of sound.
Yeah.
That can really distract from what you're hearing.
Areas where you have animals, where there's sanctuaries or aviaries, things like that. There's sounds, there are train tracks nearby, sounds are around. So if there's no microphone, no one will hear us. So it's really important, especially if you're going to do vows, particularly then. If you're going to do personal vows between each other, then yes, you do want microphone.
Yeah.
Right?
And even if it's a backyard wedding, guys, a small backyard wedding with 5-10 people, it's still suggested that you use a microphone system, because still, nobody wants to have to yell the words. You know what I mean?
No.
It takes away from the moment.
Plus, You'll never be sorry. You'll never watch the video or anything like that, and you'll be like, oh, gee, I wish we wouldn't have had a microphone. I don't think that ever. I don't think that ever happens.
We have seen and heard, officiants that don't use microphone systems, and then people from the guests are saying louder, louder. They go louder, and guess what? It sounds like they're yelling.
Yeah, and even so, I want to say that even if you can project your voice louder, it doesn't mean that you should project your voice louder. Right? Ultimately, you do want it to sound nice and want it to sound like the beautiful ceremony that it's going to be. So just because you can doesn't mean that you should. What's the other problem we see? Skipping rehearsals. Guys, don't skip your rehearsal. Have one, please. Remember what we've said before. even if it's not within your budget, to hire a coordinator or hire a wedding officiant who can do rehearsals. Have one amongst yourself. There's a ton of information online where you can, just Google some stuff and like, okay, who goes what, who does what, to give you an idea of what you should be rehearsing on wedding day, because people miss their entrance cues, the transitions don't happen. People, when they're walking down the aisle, they don't know where to go, and
Or
so
what to
they'll
do.
they'll turn in circles. You see it every single time.
So even if it's not in your budget, at least rehearse amongst yourselves,
Yes,
at the very least.
at the very least, just so that people do have an idea of what they are doing, and come day of, they're really not scrambling, because you can see scrambling through video. You can see scrambling in some photos. People are looking down the whole time as they're walking down the aisle. They never once looked up. So you have a ton of photos with everyone not looking where they're supposed to be looking, but looking everywhere else. And so now you don't have any good usable photos because no one knew what to do.
I think, people forget that, also the way your face is in these ceremonies is big too. We
Yeah.
just did a wedding a couple weeks ago where it was very obvious they had a rehearsal,
Yes.
but this one person
Was not there at rehearsal.
was obviously not at the rehearsal. I
Right.
think they probably missed it for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
but the face on this person was like, it was showing, I don't want to be here.
Uh-huh.
What am I doing here? I could be doing better things right now with my time.
Yeah.
At least maybe that's not what he felt, but that's what the face was showing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Right? So that's something that when we run a rehearsal, we make sure that
We check your face.
we check your face. We take videos of it, and we make sure that everybody is looking like they're happy to be there.
Yes,
Right.
because we often do forget that our face does speak for us. And even if
Absolutely.
we don't feel those feelings, and we just have, like, what they say, resting bee face, right? It is real. It does happen. And even when you're just serious, your face can show even anger or disdain even. So yes, we check your face and remind you, this is what your face should be like. But when we don't have those opportunities, then you do show up looking like you're really mad, and you wish you weren't there that day.
Or at
And
least
so
that's what it
at least
seems
that's
like,
what
right?
it
That's
seems.
what it looks like, right?
Right. So let's not do that.
No, not at all.
So what are some tips that you can do? Well, first, have a rehearsal, right? And at rehearsal, we have the tendency to check the way that you'll speak into a microphone. Speaking into a microphone is not something that you do every day, so we should rehearse that. And if we're not there to rehearse with you, please rehearse that on your own. Remember, obtain a microphone and a speaker and practice speaking into the microphone. At rehearsal, you don't have to say all your vows or say anything that you're going to say in your vows. It doesn't have to be that. It could be just a quick, spin off of your name, your address, your phone number, just
A countdown.
a countdown, just so that you can hear what you sound like. You test the distance where the mic should be from your mouth. Some microphones do really pick up sound, and you can have it far out here and it's perfectly fine. Other microphones, you have to have them straight in your face. Otherwise, they won't pick you up. So it's important for you to know how the microphone that you're going to be using is working for that day, and test it out. When you're having said rehearsal, the entrance cues, who's going to give the cues to who. Know where you're going to stand, know how you're going to walk, right? A lot of times when people don't rehearse, they shoot down the aisle, like a bull out of the chute. It's like, the faster I walk, the faster I get this over with. But you're missing real opportunities there for photos. The photographer is there to take photos of everyone walking down that aisle. And if you're walking so fast, he or she is not going to catch you. So slow down a little bit. Right. And also not too slow either, because we're not walking to a whole song down the aisle, but you wanted to have a relaxed pace. And also depends on the songs that you're going to be walking to. But this is why rehearsals are important.
All right. Our next one is, guys, please, and not all ceremonies there's clapping. right? But when there are, please clap for both sides. Please.
Don't be mean.
It sets a warm tone and helps guests feel included for
Yes.
both sides, right?
Yes. And let's remember too why we're there at ceremony in the first place. We're there at ceremony to be supportive. We're there at ceremony to share our joy and our love for the people that are getting married. So if there is clapping, you're welcome to please join along. It's very strange when you clap for one side and you feel how you feel about the other side and you refuse to clap, which, you know, your feelings are your feelings and you're entitled to your feelings. But if you're there to be supportive. So clap for both of them because this day is important to both of them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So our next part of our do's and don'ts is please don't wing your vows. Don't wing it.
Yes, we've
Rehearse,
covered that
practice.
before, but it's important to reiterate because it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up when we have these meetings with couples, and it's always the dudes. I don't know what's up with y'all. It's always the dudes. You guys always want to wing it. Don't do that. Don't do that. We had a perfect example of why you should not do that recently, right? Where
Yes.
he wanted to wing it from the gate, from the beginning. We had our meeting. We said, you do what you want, but we don't suggest you do that. Please write them, right?
Well, actually, you put him right on the spot at the moment.
I did. I tested his theory that he
Yes.
could wing it.
Right.
So I threw a question out there to catch him off guard, and he didn't know how to respond. And I said, that's exactly why you don't wing it. Why I don't want you to do that come wedding
And I believe
day.
the question was, why do you want to marry your fiance?
Yes, where you assume it's a very, you know the answer to this question. You know how you feel. You should be very capable of answering that question, right? But what happened? I caught him off guard and he didn't know how to respond and he didn't know how to think all of a sudden. And that's exactly what happens
And
on
if
wedding
I've ever
day.
seen a deer in the headlight look,
That was it.
that was it. So it like
Yeah.
automatically it flipped the switch on him like to actually think to himself, like, wait a minute, maybe I can't do it, especially not in front of all of our friends and family.
And this was just us.
This was just us four.
This was just us four. But that's exactly what I want for you guys to understand, that it is a high pressure moment, right? It's a loving moment and it's an exciting moment and all that good stuff, but it is also a very high pressure moment. And it's very difficult for you to think fast, accurately, and emotionally in that moment.
I think
to
one of
say
the
what
things
you want to say.
we forget is that the emotions are going to be running high on that day.
Yes,
So that same guy, right? That same guy on the day of, when it was his turn to do his vows, what happened still? He got very emotional. He was crying. He was, he was full of tears.
He did write them.
He took our advice.
He took the advice,
right?
and
he wrote them. He practiced them. But on the day of, he was so nervous
he couldn't get
that
through
even
them.
even then, it was a struggle.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, it was.
And this was the one guy who says, "Oh, I got
it.
I got it. I'm gonna wing it."
Sir, you do not.
Yeah. So please don't do that. Okay.
And it's not to say that there's something wrong with you. There's not to say that you're at fault of in some way, somehow. No, it's just that we underestimate feelings. We underestimate, the pressure and the attention that you normally don't get every day. And everyone all of a sudden is here to see you, to watch you, and all eyes are on you. So it's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's just the moment. And we've done this long enough to say to you, don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself, because you do underestimate the emotions on that day. So just be prepared.
Yeah.
Be prepared. And if you're having trouble with what we've said before, do your opening line, do your 2 to 3 meaningful points, do your promise and your closing. Bam, you're out.
Yes.
If it's a lot of pressure and you want to keep it short, do that.
Yes. So our next do is, please, guys, plan for the weather. Plan for the environment. Whether that's heaters, whether that's shade, whether that's umbrella. Plan for your guests to be as comfortable as possible.
Because I'll tell you guys, when guests are too uncomfortable, whether they're too cold or especially when they're too hot, they'll remember that more than
The actual
anything
event,
else,
right? The
more
actual
than the
event.
wedding, more than the ceremony, more than the vows, more than the party, the food, the decor. They will remember, oh my God, it was so hot that day and they had no shade. We were all up under this little tree, huddled up together.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that
And
they'll
talk
remember.
about disconnecting, right? Because you're
Yes,
very uncomfortable.
you're very uncomfortable, and we've seen, right, wedding ceremonies in the middle of summer. They're outside. There are no trees anywhere. And there was one where there was this one tree out towards the back, and all of the guests were under
All
that
around the
tree.
tree.
And no, by the time ceremony was beginning, no one wanted to come and sit down.
Sit down, right, right. Which was terrible for pictures.
So they all stayed by the tree. And so we were up in the front by ourselves officiating because they just didn't want to come out from the shade. It was very hot. It really was. Right. So let's account for that. Right. We can't really expect guests to be happy about sitting in the open summer heat. Right. The ladies, they wear, their skin is exposed. The men are in suits and they're layered. It's hot. It's hot, guys. We don't like medical emergencies at weddings. It tends to ruin the day when you have to call EMT.
Yes.
What's the other thing? The other thing is not letting guests know the environment in which you're going to have your wedding. Nowadays, a lot of people do wedding websites. I think wedding websites are great. You can find a lot of free ones that you can post all your stuff on. I think those are great. And as wedding guests, if a couple does have a wedding website, check it out because you'll have important information on there. You'll get valuable insight as to what the day for them will look like. If you're planning your wedding and you're going to have one of these websites, if you can show them pictures of the venue, great. But if you can't show them pictures of the venue, at least describe it. What is the ground like? Especially for women. Women
Yes,
need to
heels.
wear proper shoes, proper footwear for the terrain that they're on. If it's stone, if it's gravel, if it's dirt, if it's uneven surfaces, let them know that so that they can dress appropriately for the day. As a wedding guest, they're when they don't know what the environment is like and they wear the wrong thing, and then they're so unhappy
Right.
because they can't go home and change. They can't go home and change their shoes. They didn't bring anything else. And so now they have to be here completely unprepared for the environment that they're in. They can't dance because they have
Wrong
open
shoes.
wrong shoes for it, and it's dirt, and they're just not prepared for it. So as much information as you can give your guests about the environment of your wedding, the better. You can never go wrong with that. So don't surprise them. Tell them. And if you're not going to have a wedding website, well, then at least tell them or try to fit it in somewhere in your invites or in your RSVP so that people are kind of aware of what is going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The other thing too, this is more for the couples, right? Just the couples while we are in ceremony. I would like for you guys to remember to look at each other more than us, right? Don't look at me so much. Don't look at Henry so much. We don't matter. We're just there to guide you. What we want for you is to be present and to be in the moment with each other. So I would like for you guys to focus on each other, especially when you're saying your vows and especially when you're exchanging your rings. When we ask you to repeat after, don't look at us when we're repeating. Don't say it to me. Don't say it to Henry. Say it to each other. And we'll remind you when we're in the middle of ceremony. I will remind them, right? It's like, look at her or look at him.
For the seasoned officiant, they can handle that, right? They can
Yeah.
handle being stared by the couple
Yes.
the whole time, right? It's a bit awkward, right, and strange, but we can handle it, right? But it's better for the couple to be looking at each other.
Yes, because ultimately you're saying these words to each other and for each other. But I understand why that happens, right? When if we're talking to them and telling them to repeat things, it's natural for them to just want to look at it, or nerves too,
yeah.
right? So yes, but this is your
nerves
friendly
to look at one person versus everybody else, right?
Yeah. But this is your friendly reminder. Look at each other.
At each other. It
Yes.
makes better for pictures as well. Picture and video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely. And here I go again with another do is get yourself a coordinator. Seriously, guys, seriously, don't do all the work yourselves. You don't want to do that. This is your special day. This is like the one day that you should really enjoy. You're going to have a lot of other parties probably. And yeah, handle those yourselves if you want to. Your wedding though, your wedding should be a day that is reserved for you. This is about you and for you. You should enjoy that day as much as possible. So if again, if you can't hire a professional, then at least resort to some friends and some family that can help you
Assigned
assign tasks for that
tasks,
day,
positions.
and yeah, and just lift your load a little bit from yourselves. Otherwise, you'll just be so mad that you didn't get the chance to enjoy anything.
All right. So this next one is it's a big, pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, I know.
So when you hire a vendor, we've seen it over and over again where they show up looking like bums. I don't know what other word to call it, but like bums. Like they just rolled out of bed. And, oh, I gotta go do this wedding, right? We have seen from photographers to DJs to coordinators to florists. I mean, you name it. We've seen them all show up as bums.
And I've seen some
Right.
affliction photos too. Yeah.
Even unfortunately, well, this applies to us all. We're
all
all
vendors.
included.
We're
in
all
this.
vendors.
Right?
Yes.
We're all vendors.
Yes.
We've seen it where, unfortunately, when let's say it's a woman officiant, right? Remember, guys, the attention shouldn't be on us. It should be on the couple.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a woman officiant showing a lot of cleavage.
We've seen that. Mm-hmm.
Huge no. Okay?
Yeah.
We've seen it where coordinators show up all wrinkled, dirty white shoes, look like they just got out of bed. Right? We've seen DJs show up in basketball shorts and sandals or flip-flops or Crocs, right? Trucker hats, right? We have seen all kinds of vendors show up unprofessionally dressed. Okay, so this is to us all vendors. And to the couples who are hiring these vendors. Make sure to put it, to make sure that if you're going to hire this vendor, that they show up dressed professionally, them and all of their staff.
And that's if you care about that sort of thing. I notice that a lot of people, some people, not a lot of people, but some people really don't care how vendors show up, or even how they themselves may show up. That's on you, right? That's up to you. But if you do care, and I kind of feel like you should care, right? How your day is represented by the vendors that you hire. So if that does matter to you, ask them, what do you normally wear? When you ask somebody what they normally wear to work, that tells them low key that you care about how they're going to show up or how they plan to show up, especially when they ask me or they ask you. I know that matters to them.
And it should, because all of these vendors are going to appear in the pictures, in the videos.
Or videos somewhere. Like,
you know what I mean? Especially the officiant, right?
Yes.
Especially, right?
Yes.
So yeah, don't show up looking like you don't belong there.
I'm always surprised when we show up to weddings, and it's usually the other vendors that tell us, "Oh, you guys look really nice, really sharp. You don't know what we've seen." But I do know what they've seen, because I have seen photos of officiants too, showing up in sandals, showing up without their hair brushed, showing up in very casual clothing that is not fitting for the type of vibe of that day, right? You look like you're going to the beach, and we're having at this event at a nice hall in event venue, and you're looking a little raggedy.
Right. And then also for us officiants, let's wear some neutral colors, right? Yes. Don't show up, in a bright yellow suit. You know what I mean?
Unless they've asked you to.
Unless, that's what they want. But otherwise, show up in, black, gray,
something
light colors,
neutral, right?
Neutral colors, right?
Sometimes too, we try to coordinate with the colors that you're having, but they're only really accents I'm not really going to change my entire wardrobe to fit your wedding colors, but I will have a type of accent color, and you will too, to kind of like blend in with, to kind of match in with the wedding colors, but still in a very dignified attire,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Like
so
for
sometimes we have it where, the couples don't want us to wear such formal attire. We've had that.
right.
So they'll tell us, oh, it's a little too formal for us. Can you do something, lighter, or, easier, just lighter. So we'll wear like a suit of some type, right? But kind of like in their colors. But let the couple tell you that. Let the couple tell you that you can wear something different or something more casual, versus you taking it upon yourself to do that.
And where does this all happen? This happens in the meetings, guys.
Yeah.
In the meetings with us, for your ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of stuff that happens in these meetings. Very highly recommended.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think we're at our rapid fire segment here. Best wedding advice.
Plan for comfort of your guests. Just pretend like you're going to be the guest at your own wedding. What would you want? What would you like to see? What would you like to have? What would you like to know? And plan for that comfort. You've been to weddings probably, or other parties. If you remember when you were uncomfortable because you didn't know that this was going to be here, or this was not going to be available, you would have done things differently. You would have dressed differently, or you would have brought additional clothing items with you. So try to think of that when you're planning your day, as if you were the guest. And what would you have liked to know more than anything?
Definitely helps.
Yes, and communication, of course, with your guests. Everything else will feel easier if you just, you plan for them and you communicate with them.
Yeah, I mean, the more comfortable your guests are,
The better
the
time they'll have.
they'll enjoy the evening or the day a lot better.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
And be able to hold on to those better memories that are made that day.
Yeah, yeah.
In comfort.
In comfort,
Versus
yes.
the other way, all they're going to remember is being uncomfortable.
Well, because if they're comfortable, they'll be able to focus on other things versus their discomfort. Right? Yeah, yeah.
So, biggest wedding mistake couples make?
Assuming that the wedding will run itself without anyone running it.
Can't wing a ceremony or a wedding either.
No. Ceremonies, like everything else, they run on timing and they run on cues. Someone has to be responsible for those so that you can have a nice flow. It won't happen by itself. So you need to do that. Absolutely.
One thing every couple should spend money on.
Audio
equipment, right?
Audio equipment. We tend to carry our own audio. We will use what is available to us by the venue or the DJ, whoever, but we do carry backup audio just in case.
Just in case whoever's
something
providing
happens.
it is running late.
Yeah.
Equipment failure. We always have a backup.
We always have a backup, but not everyone does. Not everybody carries out. Not all officiants do. So if your officiant doesn't, then you be sure that you prepare for that and do sound check. Do sound check for yourselves and for your officiant, because you three are the ones who are going to be talking into microphone. Also, if you're going to have guests do like poems or readings or anything like that, have them practice into the microphone too, because they're going to be using it. So practice.
Absolutely. One thing couples should skip on.
They should not skip on the rehearsal. And just relying on hope. Don't do that. Don't do that. But remember, the more prepared you are, the better everything will go. It is best to be over prepared and not need most of the stuff than be under prepared, and you really should have prepared a little bit more. So it's like you're not over planning, you're preparing for your big moment. You're protecting it. So don't see it as over planning. You're protecting the vision that you want. So remember that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So remember, guys, you're not over planning. You're protecting your moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Maricela, what is your tip of the week?
Tip of the week. Send your guest the details of the environment of your wedding, what the environment is like. Grass, gravel, dirt, ranch, hall, stone, whatever it is. Send it to them. tell them somehow, put it on the RSVP, put it on the invite if you're not going to have a website. But if you are going to have a website, put it on there so that they know and they don't show up in the wrong shoes. They get very unhappy when they show up in the wrong shoes.
All right. So the big takeaway: the wedding that feels smooth aren't luckier. They're
just clear.
Right? Remember these priorities: sound, rehearsal, guest comfort, and expectations. Right? If you want a simple checklist, grab it in the show notes, reach out, or subscribe. And if you're listening right now and thinking, wait, we didn't plan for that, don't panic. Send us your questions and we'll point you in the right direction.
Always. All right, guys. Well, that is our time for today. I am Maricela. And from our hearts to yours, thanks for listening and stay kind.
And I'm Henry.
Love is everything.